welcome. Chef Carlo here. Welcome back to the How. Today I'm going to be demonstrating how to sharpen a knife with a whetstone. So I've picked a couple of different knives today. I've got a hard steel knife here, and I got a soft steel knife. Take a look. So the main difference between these two knives is one is soft steel, and it's very easy to sharpen it to get an edge on this knife. However, the knife will actually lose its edge much faster. And as opposite, the hard steel knife is more difficult to sharpen, but will hold its edge for a longer period of time. So the stone that I'm going to be using today is called a whetstone. So I have this stone soaking in water. You could just take a look here. Just so the stone will absorb the water through its porous surface. Now there's two different sides to this stone. If you want to take a look here, we have a rougher grit side and a smoother grit side. So you always start with the rougher grit to begin grinding down the edge of the knife first, and then you want to refine that edge just by going to the finer side. So in order to sharpen these knives, you're going to want to do it at a 20-degree angle, and I'm just going to put a little bit more water on the surface of this stone here. And I'll start with the soft steel knife first. So at around a 20-degree angle, you just want to move the knife back and forth. This is one style. Now there is another style that you can do as well, another technique, and that is just taking the blade from the end and gliding down the entire surface of the knife. Holding the same angle, 20 degrees. So you choose the style that works best for you. And you're just grinding down the edge of that knife at that 20 degrees, back and forth. Now I'm going to move down, further down the knife. You can actually just take a look at that knife right there, and you can see that there's some buildup of the steel on the knife. You can see we've got some buildup on the edge of that knife, and you can clearly see that an edge has been created on the one side. If you touch the end of the knife, you'll be able to feel that there's a barb actually pulling the blade in one direction. So we need to repeat this process now on the other side. And I'm just going to put some more water on the stone there. And at the same angle, 20 degrees, start the process over again. Alright, so now we've got a fairly rough edge on the edge of this knife. It's pretty good, okay? But in order to get the edge of this blade really sharp, we're going to want to go to the finer side of this whetstone. And we're going to repeat the exact same process that we just went through. At the same angle, back and forth. Alright, so I've now sharpened both knives, and it was the same process. I just repeated over and over. So start with the rough side, back and forth, keep the stone nice and wet, and then switch and do the other side, keep the angle the same. Then you can go ahead and rinse your knife after, and then start on the finer side of the whetstone and repeat the same process. I'm going to say that I probably did around 3 minutes on each side for the soft steel, 3 to 4 minutes, and for the hard steel I did about 5 to 6 minutes, just because it requires a lot more work. It will hold its edge much longer. Okay, so now that we've created an edge on these knives, now what we need to do is straighten the edge. So if you haven't seen my video on how to use a honing steel properly, go back and watch that. Right now, I'm just going to quickly straighten up these knives. You can even hear the difference between the sounds of the different steels. You can tell that one is hard and the other one's soft. Okay, so now to the test. Let's find out if these knives are sharp. They're really pulling on my skin here, but let's find out. That's pretty sharp. Next piece of paper. That's pretty sharp. And I'll give you a side camera view so you can see. That's sharp as a razor. So it was a relatively minimal investment in order to get these knives sharp in terms of my time. And they'll make your life a lot easier in the kitchen. And a sharp knife is safer than a dull knife. Keep all your fingers by keeping your knife sharp. This is Chef Carlo. Thank you for watching The How, and check out some more of the videos. Thanks, take care.